Hi, my name is Rebecca Bartlett, and this is a presentation on guidelines and policies on gifts for teachers and students. Giving gifts in school is a common occurrence. Students and staff receive gifts for a number of reasons. Following basic guidelines along with state and local policies will ensure ethical practice. Giving gifts in schools. There are two categories for giving gifts in school. So the first being incentives for fundraising achievements and awards for special achievements such as spelling bee winners, student of the month. It's always important to keep public opinion in mind. Would the gift or award be seen as cost effective and appropriate? Gifts for students, the incentive category. It's usually for fundraising, and the general guidelines for incentive gifts should be limited only for students who participated. They should be age appropriate. They should not affect the overall profitability of the fundraising. They should be purchased with funds generated by the group that will receive the gifts and should not favor one group over another group. Gifts for students for special achievement gifts. The general guidelines for these achievement gifts, they should be of a nominal value, age appropriate. The funding can come from general funds, business donations, or in the case of athletics, it can come from the athletic fund. Gifts for staff members. There should be general guidelines for staff members. It's reasonable that if the staff generates the funds can be used for the staff. So there should be a set of written procedures and it should be coordinated by a committee. There are times when staff are celebrating special life events like weddings, babies, and retirement. So when giving gifts to staff members for special occasions, some good guidelines to follow are the gifts should be reasonably priced with a set dollar limit. The gifts should be paid for from staff remembrance funds. These remembrance funds can come from annual dues, staff donations, or raised specifically by the staff. They should be managed by a committee with written procedures, and one person should not collect and deposit funds and purchase the gifts. When staff fundraisers and incentives are involved, the fundraising incentives for staff should be reasonably priced and no more than 5% of the overall profit of the fundraising event. There are times when the entire staff may receive a gift, such as Teacher Appreciation Day, and when all staff gifts, again, they should be of nominal value, reasonably priced. They should be paid for with staff-generated funds or donated from the general fund if they are inexpensive and could be useful in the classroom. There are several issues concerning cash or cash equivalent items as gift incentives. They must be added to an employee's W-2 for tax purposes. This includes money received due to special circumstances. Therefore, it is recommended to give tangible items instead of cash or cash equivalent items. Each district has its own policies regarding gifts for staff members, and I'm going to highlight some things that the Passaic Public School has included in their policy. The first thing I want to talk about is the first paragraph here. The Board of Education wishes to maintain honest and ethical practices and wishes to avoid any appearance of impropriety or favoritism in its practice. Therefore, the Board of Education prohibits the acceptance of gifts to board members and to school district employees. So in my district, it's not acceptable for us to receive gifts. And the policy goes on to include details of consequences that could happen if we do receive gifts. So number 3 here says some of the consequences could include suspension or termination from employment or withholding of annual increments or a demotion. So instead of gifts, they favor and encourage letters written to express gratitude. In the district policies, they also cite several of the laws and policies of the state of New Jersey. So this one says, as a condition of receiving state aid, each school district and CVSD shall have policies that comply with the provisions of this section to ensure the school district shall maintain honest and ethical relations with vendors and shall guard against favoritism, improvidence, extravagance, and corruption in contracting processes and practices. So no one is allowed to benefit from gifts, especially from vendors or anyone who services the school. My closing thoughts on gifts for staff and students are they should all be of nominal value. The gifts should not favor one group over another. It's very important to keep public opinion in mind. Would the gifts be deemed extravagant, or are they a good use of money? Would they be a wasteful use of school funds? You can always ask parent organizations within the schools and the community to coordinate benefit events on the school's behalf. And it's important to know and follow the local and state policies to ensure that you're always acting ethically and are legally responsible when dealing with school gifts. Thank you for watching.